Ja, herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Ausgabe SI-Talk und ich habe es schon in meinen letzten normalen Ausgaben erwähnt. Ich möchte gern wieder ein Interview mit Terra machen und diesmal nicht mit David Suder, den haben wir ja die letzten paar Mal interviewt, sondern mit dem neuen Executive Chairman, wobei neu ist auch relativ, er ist seit November 2019 dran, also die Zeit vergeht, mittlerweile auch schon fast wieder 1,5 Jahre. Ja, er wird uns die Company jetzt einmal, was sich so in den letzten 1,5 Jahren quasi getan hat, weil ich glaube, mit David habe ich im Jänner oder im Februar letztes Jahr das letzte Interview gemacht und deswegen ist ein Update einmal wieder extrem wichtig. Was auch noch extrem wichtig ist, ich habe einen Conflict of Interest, ich bin Aktionär. Gerald, thank you for your time. And I said in my German introduction, I have a conflict of interest. I'm a shareholder. And you are the new executive chairman, then you have been the executive chairman since November 2019. But my previous interview with David Suda was in January, I think, last year, before all the COVID stuff is coming and I cannot fly around. So I think it's time to be or to have a update. Then when I look to the share price, especially in the last 6 to 9 months, there are some stocks outside there doing a little bit better. So Gerald, my first question is, do you have any idea why the share price is coming down nearly 50% from August last year?
Well, not 50%. I mean, in January 2020, we just had completed financing at 25 cents.
That's right. But you have a very good run up to August.
Up to July.
Yeah.
With the gold price going up to $2,075. 2075, July 2020. So in reality, I don't control the stock price. I can only entice people to buy the stock and hold the stock. When they decide to sell, they sell. We had one big seller on February 1st. I think I know who it is. He was maybe 5 million share in the company, and he unloaded. The good thing is that the stock recovers somewhat, not too bad. But even gold today is down. Barrick is down. Newmont is down. It's been very difficult since early August. It's very simple. The gold price has not been very attractive to people since early August 2020.
But in real, yeah. But in real life,
then you had the U.S. election, the Democratic Party win, and since then, all of this, even the stimulus package, are not helping the gold, and a lot of money has gone back into technology, cannabis, whatever you want to call it. We're an old industry. We're a base. We're solid. It's gold. It's the reality. And the market is the market. We don't control the market. If somebody decides to sell, we sell.
That's absolutely right. But on the other side, with a gold price of nearly 1800 is a very good number for gold. And if a company cannot make money out with 1800, then we have a problem.
Yes, it's a good time. Yeah. But when you go from 2100 or almost 2100 down to 1780 today, because gold is still down today. Look, there's no reason for Barrick to be down a couple of percent again. And so the gold sector is under pressure. We cannot just close our eyes.
Yeah. No, that's
we need
right.
We need to be realistic and conscientious about what's happening. I've been in gold since 1980. I've been in gold for 41 years. So I've seen gold goes up and down. I've seen the gold at 250 before. We've seen it at 800. We've seen it at 1900. The reality is, yes, $1,800 gold is a very good price to make a buck. When we took at all the all-in costs is about, say, $1,100 to $1,200. So people should make a very good margin. But the gold grade over the years have gone down. The revenue stream has not gone down. It's more expensive to mine than it was before.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you that the 1,200 all-in cost within the next 10 years will go up to 1,100.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a fact. But gold, in terms of value, could be worth $5,000, $7,000.
Yeah, that's
it's just that there are so many people manipulating it.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely agree, and I think also it's a good time to look for interesting stocks where undervalued. But for me, it's sometimes really surprising. Also, when you recommended the big stocks too, but they are nearly trade on the same price like 1,400 gold was. So it's, you see how really that the gold price or that the market is really under pressure, and the best what you can do is then you look for interesting stock what you can buy. So that's the reason why I do this interview. Then I'm a strong believer in your project. That's my point of view. You're sitting on a multi-million ounces project. At the moment, you don't have it so far. Not you have it not in a resource calculation, but I'm thinking it's only a question of time and work that you're coming up with a multi-million ounce resource, I would say. Mm-hmm. I'm wrong in this, or you can say I'm right.
Well, I'm conflicted too, because I own almost 5.3 million shares. So, you could say either like he likes it a lot, he's right, or he's stupid, right? But if you look at my past, after 12 years at Barrick, 2 mines in production in Tanzania, and then Detour Gold that I founded, and then I went from 1 million ounces to 16 million ounces in reserve. This is not a fluke. Mm. And so Gold Terra has the great opportunity of controlling 800 square kilometers in one of the famous gold camp of Canada, the Yellowknife camp, which produced 14 million ounces of gold. And for those who have been around Gold Terra or Terra X before, under the different management, they've worked very hard, and I think they've done very well. Because of that, we probably have a small resource, 250,000 ounces between 2 small deposits that can grow. There's no question Castoram and Samoto can grow beyond 1 million ounces and maybe one day reach 2 million ounces, no question. But I think when you look at Yellowknife Camp, it's very important for your auditors to understand that the 13 million ounces was produced from a shear zone called the Campbell Shear. Mm-hmm. The Campbell Shear is 70 kilometers long, mm-hmm. between 50 to 100 meters wide. 13 million ounces were produced over a period of, say, approximately 70 years, from 1935 to 2002, from one deposit on 2 property, Giant and Con. It's the same deposit. So if the Campbell Shear is 70 kilometers and was mined over 7, only 10% of the shear zone potential has been evaluated properly. Mind you, yes, it's a great deposit. What are the chances of finding another one? And that's our focus. Our focus is to focus on the southern part. Last year in 2020, I worked 9 months to get the Newmont deal, mm-hmm. which give us, when you look at say, page 8 on our presentation, that's important. It summarizes everything on that page. You can see that we optioned the property immediately south of the Con mine. So we have about 2 kilometers, 2.5 kilometers of the Campbell Shear, which adjoin our South Belt property, which carries for another 10 kilometers. So the southern part of the Con mine, which I believe as a plunge to the south, it's a big shear zone. The cross-section shown on page 8 of the presentation shows the importance of the shear zone, the Campbell Shear, and what they've been mining through the Campbell Shear. Whatever is at the top part or at the bottom part, they mine 5 million ounces. Mm-hmm. So when you look at the potential of a 5 million ounces, there's great chances of finding it to the south or to the north. But it's just a question of drilling and time. over the past, since before I came and before I did the Newmont deal, they've never spent time on the Campbell Shear, never.
Mm-hmm.
And in my mind, if you want to find a multi-million ounces deposit, a sizable resource, 3, 4, 5 million ounces, you need to focus on the plumbing system, which is the biggest one in the area.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the Campbell Shear. This is your plumbing system.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what you're doing that this year that you coming forward?
Well, if you go further to the presentation on page 10, we can see the drilling program that is ongoing now.
Mm-hmm.
Drilling the phase 1, which is right underneath two resources, the Yellow Rex and the Camp Point South deposit. We're drilling between 300 meters vertical and 600 meters vertical. We're doing about 20 holes. Yesterday, we announced a financing. So we have enough money to do 10,000 meters this winter. And with that financing that is done yesterday of about $2.9 million Canadian, that gives us another 10 to 14,000 meters of drilling to be done in 2020. Mm-hmm. So 2020, not too many juniors will do 20,000 meters of drilling. Mm-hmm. I mean, some of them will do more for sure when they have found a deposit. But we're still at the exploration stage of an amazing camp. When you look at page 10, you have a long section, which is a vertical projection of mineralization found along the Campbell Shear. Mm-hmm. You can see that 5 million ounces is 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers. Mm-hmm. It's very small. Mm-hmm. So you look at the potential to the south, and it's great. I mean, we just have to drill it. And that's exactly what we intend to do in 2020. Mm-hmm. More than 20,000 meters of drilling along the Campbell Shear south of the Con Mine, which could yield 1, 2, 3, 4 million ounces.
What is an average grade of the Campbell Shear Zone? So when you're coming up with drill result that everybody can understand, okay, I think we are in the right area.
This is a high grade target. When you look at page 10, you can see when you have pink, purple, mm-hmm. It's the gram times thickness is over 100, mm-hmm. which means you should expect 10 grams over 10 meters, mm-hmm. or 20 grams over 5 meters. Mm-hmm. In general, what you see in those high-grade shoot is more like 50 grams over 3 meters. So it's a small 3 meters concentrated area of gold mineralization. Mm-hmm. The Campbell Shear was 100 meters wide. Mm-hmm. What's important is that we're drilling it. We're technically hitting it. Now what we have to find is the gold ore shoot within that envelope. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you may have 2 zones over 100 meters, but sometimes you could have maybe 5 or 6. But in general, what we've seen so far, and we did a press release to show some core 2 weeks ago, we see mineralization over about 3-4 meters in width within the Campbell Shear. Mm-hmm. And we look forward to share. I mean, I'm not saying that we're going to be successful on the first hole, because we're basically delineating an envelope in which we can find gold mineralization. So it's a 2-step thing. So the first step is to outline the Campbell Shear, and the second time is to focus on where the gold is.
Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. Understandable. So, but this year is strictly focused on the south area, so that you find these high-grade ore shoes.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So now, when we think you are successful and you drill this 20,000 meters, what's coming up next? When we can expect a first, maybe, or when it makes sense to do a first resource calculation on it?
I think it's about drilling. You know, I think once we would have done 20,000 meters of drilling, you could expect a resource at the end of it. So following our program in 2020, we should have a resource on the Campbell Shear, mm-hmm. south of the Con Mine. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And prior to that, we still have the drilling we did in 2020, which will show a resource increase on Castorum and also on the Samoto area. So in reality, when you look at the potential of the property, you have, say, second priority target in Castorum and Samoto, but you have the Campbell Shear, which is our priority. And don't forget, the Campbell Shear came on to the north, very close to the Barney deposit. So we know that there is a tremendous potential as well to the north, but it was less ready to be drilled aggressively like we're doing it now. Here, it's easy because if you go back to page 9, you can see two small deposits that are between surface and 500 meters vertical.
Yes.
Those two deposits are known resources. There's already a resource on those two.
Okay.
The grade is not too bad. I mean, 4 grams over 5 meters, 4 grams over 7 meters, 14 grams over 5 meters. There's a lot of juice. We are in the Campbell Shear now. We are drilling the Campbell Shear.
Okay.
We expect good result.
Okay, and I think also, that when you're coming up with the Campbell Shear resources, or that the people understand this as Campbell Shear, then you get a better reaction on the market than for Sam Otto's and some other ones. Then they know exactly Campbell Shear was also the giant mine in the Grund mine. So they know exactly what potential is there.
Before I joined the company in the spring of 2019, I spent 2 days with the old management, Joe Campbell and Al Sexton and people that used to run the company. And I mean, they did a great job. 800 square kilometers. We control the camp. There's no neighbors. There's no competition. They also found the Samoto deposit, which one day could be 1 million ounces plus at 1.2 grams. But look, I put Detour Gold in production. I know no great deposit. What the Campbell Shear does for you is high grade, 15 to 20 grams. But I'll be happy at 10 grams with $1,800 an ounce. Yeah. I mean, even 8 grams will be sufficient. You know, you don't need 15 grams. But you have to realize that those guys were making money when gold price was $300 an ounce. So at $1,800 an ounce, or even just $1,500 an ounce, I'll be happy at 10 grams. So 10 grams over 5 meters is good. 10 grams over 10 meters is better. And drilling will find the ore shoots. It's just a question of time. We are in the right place to find 2, 3, 4 million ounces potential. We just need to complete our drilling.
And we talk here from the south zone only, hopefully. This 2, 3, 4
we're just talking
million.
About the Campbell. Yeah, we're just talking about the Campbell Shear south of the Con mine.
Okay.
On the Newmont option and the South Belt. After that, we're going to move back onto the North Belt and keep exploring.
Yeah.
We have tremendous potential. It's just that, as you know, the market is not as patient. People want to see the stock move right away.
Absolutely.
People are not long-term holder. I am. I believe in Yellowknife story. I believe in the Campbell Shear potential. And that's why I own almost 3% of the company. I don't have any stock option as a chairman. Zero. I buy share.
Okay.
In every financing.
Financing is a good point. You close a financing, I think it was a flow through.
We did not close, we announced. We're going to close in early March.
Okay.
But that is very important.
Yeah.
Because the company finished the year just under $4 million Canadian. With that, we were able to do 10,000 meters of drilling this winter, which is ongoing now. With the current financing we just completed, because sometimes when it's open to you, sometimes you should take it. Because you never know what month of April or May. Now I just secure another 12 to 15,000 meters of drilling more on the Campbell Shear in 2020, which will make our drilling program extend all through 2021.
Okay. One question, or one of my last questions, we are now close to 20 minutes. is it the idea also to bring this in production by yourself, or you think you need a partner?
To be honest with you,
in the long way.
On the long term, I've done it 3 times. Okay, 2 times with Barrick, with Detour. Of course, with Barrick, it was easier because I didn't have to worry about money. At Detour, I had to raise $2.6 billion through the course of my stay at Detour, being the founder all the way to the end of 2013. I can do it again, no problem. We have already my dear friend Louis Dion as a mining engineer on the board. We have a very, very good board, a very knowledgeable mining board at Gold Terra. And if anybody looks at management and the directors, this is a very solid board that knows what we're doing. And that's exactly, Louis was with me. I've known Louis for 27 years. On my Barrick days, he was my first director I appointed at Detour. And he's with me again at Gold Terra. And if we find something, we will put it in production. But, you know, if somebody wants to buy us, it's a shareholder decision. My job is to create value for the shareholders. Whatever it's to sell it or put it in production.
Gerald, thank you for the update. I think it was really a great one. It brings more confidence to me too. So then I believe that is really a nice package, land package. What you have for me is clear that there are multi-million ounces there, but now we need it only to confirm it. And I think with them, also with good drill results, the share price will run by itself. We see this by other stocks too, that if you're coming up with the right results, then the share price will run. And when the people see that you have the potential for multi-million ounces, then it's run faster. It's only then a question of time. Thank you for the update. It was really a great one. Hopefully we can do it then maybe after the first really good results, that we can give a small update and say, hey, this is exactly what we're looking for and what we are now doing, so that we can, with the next program, but now we have more than focus here and there. So I thank you for this. This was really a great one. Thank you.
I look forward, and thank you very much for your time and support.
Thank you. Ja, es war ein Update von Gold Terra und ich muss ehrlicherweise sagen, er hat mich echt überzeugt. Am Anfang hat es ein bisschen da hingezogen, aber jetzt muss ich ehrlicherweise sagen, verstehe ich eigentlich erst richtig, um was es eigentlich geht. Also wir haben hier den Überblick von dem riesen Landpaket, 800 Quadratkilometer, riesengroß. Sie haben quasi den ganzen Distrikt gestaked und da drinnen gab es 2 große Minen gegeben, die von 1920 bis 2000 quasi produziert haben. Das war die Giant Mine und die Con Mine. Und die werden, der Source von dem Ganzen, was die kommen haben, war die Shear Zone, die Campbell Shear Zone. Und diese Campbell Shear Zone ist im Süden sowohl im Norden als auch im Süden, der zieht sich über 70 Kilometer und die 2 Minen haben quasi nur 7 Kilometer davon ausgemacht. Und er hat jetzt in letzter Zeit sehr stark an diesem Deal gearbeitet mit dem Newmont-Paket, also wo sie jetzt bis zu 60% erringen können oder von dem Projekt erwerben können. Weiter hinten gehört 100% einer, aber dort bohren sie jetzt, dort fokussieren sie sich jetzt, weil er sagt, diese Shear Zone, die hat solche hochgradigen Punkte und Sie sehen es hier in der Grafik, diese Yellow Dots, diese violetten Punkte, die sind über 100 Gramm pro Meter gerechnet. Also zum Beispiel 10 mal 10 Meter sind halt, also 10 Gramm auf 10 Meter ergeben diese 100 Gramm oder eben 50 Gramm auf 2 Meter, dass sie das da sind diese große Ohrschutz, die er jetzt quasi sucht. Sie haben schon kleine Ressourcen drauf, ja, aber das ist noch nicht das für das, was eigentlich die Campbell Shear Zone steht. Und sie bohren jetzt dieses. Und das ist jetzt auf 2 Phasen. Sie haben jetzt gerade auch die Finanzierung. Sie werden in diesem Jahr ungefähr 20.000 Bohrmeter machen. Und dort suchen sie genau diese Gehalte, diese hochgradigen Gehalte. Und das wird auch meines Erachtens dann den Markt treiben. Es hat mich jetzt wieder mehr Vertrauen gemacht oder gebracht, dass ich wirklich glaube, die sitzen auf einem Multi-Millionen Unzen Paket. Sie müssen es nur finden. Und die Campbell Shear Zone wird auch dafür sorgen, dass wenn sie dann mit diesen Nummern rauskommen und das Management ist outstanding, muss man ehrlicherweise sagen. Die stehen über jeden Zweifel haben und die werden den Aktienpreis auch dementsprechend dann wieder nach oben bringen. Deswegen muss ich jetzt ehrlicherweise sagen, ich muss da nur ein bisschen zuschlagen. Und ja, schauen wir mal, was sie uns da noch liefern. Ja, das war ein Interview. Heute ist der 17. Februar 2021 mit Gold Terra. Tschüss und Baba, viert euch. Gerald, thank you for the interview. Was a really great one, and thank you for your time. And good luck, and hopefully you find early the next big numbers.
We always want the best result right at the beginning.
Perfect.